So Robin, we're at your silage pits. Silage is a key part, I suppose, of an autumn calving herd.
That's right.
Maybe I suppose just start with when were these built?
These were built about 2004, 2005. When we put the main shed up for the beef, we were disease trouble there, so we needed silage over the winter because we were bulling in the autumn. So and obviously they were feeding all the calves then. And yeah, we put them up. We had one long one before. There was no drains, and it was all a bit Heath Robinson, so we had to sort it out. They don't give us enough. There's not quite enough storage here for the dairy the size we're to now. So we're going to be using an ag bag. We would have used it last year. We had enough grass to put in it. I think that's the next thing. We'll try that for a few years, and then probably expand the silage clamps. But so we used to do all our own silaging. It used to take about a week. Now we get a contractor in and it's done and each cut's done in a day. We were doing about 160 acres, I think, 150, 160 acres in a day. He's a good chap, it's very good communication. And we did get caught out on the clamp on this side this year because the weather changed and it rained when we were picking it up, or at the end of the mowing. So we stopped mowing and then just did part one day and did part another day. So this is about 25% dry matter, whereas the silage in this side is about 38 or 40% dry matter. Okay. It's all sort of 11 point something ME, in between 11.6 I think and 14% protein. But we need good silage.
Yeah.
You know, it's this is our main thing, you know, and so it's very important for us to get it right. We use Ecosol. We never used to use any additive at all. We then started using it, and I haven't changed. People want us to buy other things. The Ecosol works. Stick with it.
What benefit are you getting from it, do you think?
I think we get better fermentation.
Okay.
We sheet down the sides of the clamp right down to the floor. We grease the columns to stop them rusting if we can.
Yeah. And why did you do that there? Say just as we
grease the columns because they'll rust otherwise, and we want to make the clamp last.
Yeah.
There was some patching. So when these were cast, we had a few bits where the concrete bled out down the bottom. So we've been in and hooked it out and patched it just to make it last a bit longer. There was only a couple. I think there was one main spot, and that was it. So we sheet right down to the floor if we can, just off the floor, just to protect the clamp really, and also it gives a better seal on top. Recently we've gone over to using cling film, and that's made a massive difference. You can see up here there's virtually no wastage at all. And we're cutting out with a shear grab, so you can see the black. You can see the dark line in the middle between the. So the stuff on the bottom is the last bit of the first cut, and then the stuff above it is the second cut we did.
Okay.
But there's virtually no wastage on there at all.
So
the water's coming from the first cut next door, where it drains through.
Okay. So you've black plastic on the side.
With black plastic up that side and up this side, and that just about meets in the middle, maybe not quite. We put cling film on first of all, then we roll the sides in, then we put a top sheet on,
okay.
Then we put the secure covers on.
Okay.
And we just put a row of tyres all down the edge and across the joints in the middle.
Okay.
Across the joints of the secure covers, and maybe just half a dozen tyres just to hold it down in the middle, and it seems to work.
And when you're inside or putting in the silage, then have you a loader plus a tractor, or is it just one machine up on top?
No, there's two. There's a tractor rolling it, and there's also about 150 horsepower tractor with a butt rake on the front.
Okay. And do you think that's key as well?
Yes. Yeah. Compaction is key. I mean, if I could, I'd make the clamps like that. Then you can roll the sides better, because I think when it's coming in fast, you probably have a job otherwise to roll the sides well enough on a clamp like this, because it's always a bit tricky. It's a 10-foot drop on the side if you get it wrong.
So if you were building another silage pit, would you cover it? What's the advantage of the cover?
Cover is you've got less water to cope with, and so you've got less that to manage. The disadvantage is you can't go higher, but then in engineering terms, the walls aren't designed to go higher. So it depends what sort of clamp you put up, I think. Clamps are designed to go level fill to the top of the wall. My father used to make them, and so we know quite a bit about this. He tells me, he comes out and tells me when I'm doing something wrong. Yeah. This was the right thing for here, because we've got a multi-purpose shed we can use for other things. Yeah. I think when we build the extension, we won't cover it, but we'll put a sloping panel up against the wall, up against the bank outside, I think.
Okay. Drainage, Jen, how does that work?
Drainage, so both clamps, they run that way. We put 50mm pipe in the bottom, just in several places along, so it all runs to the side and runs forward, and there's a channel down the outside just to collect any effluent. That picks up at the front, and there's a 36,000 litre tank out the front buried down in the ground that takes all the effluent, and then the clean water from the roof is kept separate. Whereas if we didn't cover it, we'd have all that roof water in with it, which we'd have to deal with, unless you manage to sheet out the front, which is always a little bit difficult to do.
Okay.